Hello you guys, Braxis here, and I'm going to be doing another Space Engine video. I got a comment on my last video asking to visit HIP 11044, and I don't know what's very significant about this. Of course, I was supposed to use version 0.9.7, so I don't know if it's like an Easter egg, if there's something different here, but not that I could tell. One thing that was interesting about it, though, at least in 0.98, let me select this here, is all these planets are actually different colors. They're all rather hot. In fact, all of them are above. Yeah, they're like in positive numbers. Nothing's actually frozen here. But for example, over here you got a really cool like green gas giant, and it must be rotating like pretty quickly because it's actually oval shaped, it's not actually round. So yeah, it's interesting. And over here we have a boring Selena, as is their nature. What's interesting about this Selena though is it has these little things on it, so I guess this is not limited to ice worlds, I guess. So that's a thing. I still don't know what this is. Like, I don't understand any form of geography behind into like whatever these little star shapes are on the planet. So, yep. Yep. Basically, this Selena is just as boring as ever. But yeah, I don't know what these star shapes are. If anyone has any clue what those are and why they form on planets, let me know. Have we even actually found a planet with that effect going on, or is this just something limited to SpaceEngine? I've never seen anything like that. Over here we got another scorched Selena. Actually, this one is 649 degrees Celsius, and it has the same effect going on. So yeah, it's definitely not limited to temperature. I don't know if that's supposed to look like an asteroid collision, but I don't think they do that. We have a scorched ice giant, which seems kind of contradictory, but I'm assuming that's just because of the materials it's made of, not actually the temperature of it, just its composition. In this case, it looks like we have, don't know what that is, nitrogen, oxygen. Oh man, I really don't know my periodic table. And we have a scorched desert. This is 1,000 degrees. It's also tidally locked. It really has a really nice like pink and blue hue going on with it, so that's kind of cool. We just zoom in and get a good look at the planet. The atmosphere is not very thick. And there is the, what is that? Okay, it's a white giant, so rather huge star next to it. My last video I turned my render speed down, so these aren't actually going to render all that quickly. You can see all the surrounding planets around it. I don't actually, okay, I do actually see a star right there. It's probably not gonna, okay, there's probably a star right over there. Let me confirm that's a star. Okay, yeah. So you could actually see the stars in the atmosphere during the day. And if I fly over here, I'll start to actually get caught up in the giant storm that's caused by it being tidally locked. And we have one last planet in the system, and that is a scorched desert. I can't immediately tell, but I think this is tidally locked. Let me check. Okay, so this orbits very quickly, and the rotation period is 1:1, so yes, this is tidally locked. And if I go into its atmosphere, whoa, that is like a crazy gray going on. And I assume this is probably just all molten. This is upward of 1,000 degrees Celsius, so this planet is basically a giant lava pool. And if I hit play, oh, it's already playing. So if I just fast forward, you can see that it rotates with the star. And it's so close to the star that, as you can tell, it has a huge plume. This planet is basically being cooked away. It's being dissolved. Same with this gas giant. Pretty much every planet in the system is way too close to its parenting star. Except for maybe this gas giant over here in the distance. So yeah, I checked out this system as requested, and I mean, I'll give it I'll give it that it's actually an interesting system, like compared to everything else that I've looked at. I don't actually find systems that are like that have this much variety. Typically, they just have like boring planets that are not very colorful or anything like that. Like, let's see. Actually, I might have found something a little bit interesting over here. Okay, so we have a very fast rotating star. And we got this frozen ice world with rings. So let's go ahead and pause the game again. Is this type of world that has like the cracks in it? Okay, yeah, it is. It doesn't have the level of detail down. It's not rendering. Whoa. Okay. I tried to pause the game and it did something weird there. Let's go ahead and turn the level of detail back up and turn up the loading speed. So now things should load a lot faster. Okay, so this ice world, I think we've all seen this before. The atmosphere is actually very interesting in this one. It consists of nitrogen and argon. I don't know what CO is. If I edit this video, I'll just add that in, or probably throw an annotation in. I'm not really too sure. And we have some type of ice on these mountains over here. In fact, I think this whole planet is just frozen. Okay. That is... I don't think I've actually seen that texture before. That's like a rocky terrain texture. What do we got over here? That actually looks like that texture that was on that planet I looked at the last time. The one that I was calling Zerg Creep. So yeah, we got a bunch of icy peaks and stuff around here. The rotational period is every 12 hours, so the days are about half of an Earth day, and the parenting star is over there in the distance. Over beyond those rings right there. Which the rings, like I said, they have a... Whoa. They have a really cool, like, little blue hue to them. I'm still getting that bug where the lens flare wants to go through the planet. Except for right now, apparently. And yeah, I don't think I've actually seen blue rings like this before. I wonder what they actually consist of to be blue like this. So that's actually a little bit more of an interesting planet. I actually really want to see the sunset on this planet because it looks like it goes through like a really interesting color palette. So let me find a good location for this. Just land right here. Okay, let's just go ahead and hit play and see what happens. Actually, I want to reduce the time scale. And let's increase it incrementally. Okay, now it's moving 300 times real time. Where was that star at? Oh, there it was. So I chase down this star real quick and just land somewhere. We can watch the sunset again. And it transitions from like a coppery, like tan color down to a blue hue and then just turns nighttime. Where you can actually see these large blue rings, so that's actually really awesome. There's a shadow of the planet right there, and there's the Milky Way galaxy in the background. Let me go ahead and speed up the game a little bit, and there we go. So let's see what else we can find. Okay, so I see the Orion Nebula, which I believe is this one. Yes. It's always very distinct. It's right next to this large nebula here, and it's actually like within it, which can actually on that. Let me increase the magnitude real quick. Okay, now I can actually see it. Yeah, Barnard's Loop. I guess, is that what this is? Okay, yeah, I think it's Barnard's Loop. That is the big red one around it. And then, like, within it, you have the Flame Nebula, and then you have Orion's Nebula. Is this part of Orion's Nebula? possibly. And then we have this one back here, which is just NGC 2023. If I actually go back to Earth, let me get the search function up real quick. This is actually visible from Earth. I turn around, okay, we can see a couple of galaxies over there, and there it is. You can see the Orion Nebula from Earth, so that's always a cool thing. Where are you hiding? There it is. As you can tell, in my more recent videos, I've changed the lens flare effect. I was messing around in the settings, and I found out there's actually a lot of cool lens flare effects you can go through. Like, for example, I can go like nostalgic, and that makes it kind of like the Hubble telescope. And then there's like a few ones like, let's see, there is, okay, I think anamorphic, yeah, that's the one I'm using right now. There's Astronicki, which is like the generic, you know, camera flash, lens flare. And there is like a different variation of it. This one looks a little bit nicer than the previous one. And then there's a third one, which is just really bright. If you just want like light casting, like as if it was like a camera flashing at you or something like that, this is what you would probably go for. This is duality, I think that's what it says. This is just 2 streams of lights going sideways. So if you really want to make that dubstep montage, this is the lens flare for you. There is evolution, which is pretty much the same thing, but it's yellow. I actually like that yellow one a little bit more than the blue one. Gives it kind of a nice warm color. Eden, which the 2 horizontal like spikes, I guess, go out way further. Did I already click on nostalgic? Yeah, that's the Hubble telescope one. Then there's SE 0.93, which the shutter basically looks like it's hexagon shaped. And then there is single, which I guess that one kind of looks cool. It seems like it's low resolution though. Like I see a little bit of lining going through here. So okay, so it's SpaceEngine 0.95. So yeah, I guess that's understandable why it would be low resolution. So I like the anamorphic one. And if you could, I think you could actually, yeah, you could change the actual flare that's around it. I actually keep it off personally because I don't like things cluttering the screen. But you can go through and actually like kind of tune the lens flare a little bit. So if I actually wanted like a camera dirt effect, this is what I would go with. Duality. Eden just has a kind of looks like it's passing through multiple lenses. And 9.3, which is kind of that generic lens flare that you would typically see. What else do we have? No, that's about it. Personally, okay. Yeah, if you really want some lens flare going on, just change both to anamorphic. This is like yeah, this is dubstep montage right here. Yeah, I just turned lens flare off. I don't like that. I just like the diffraction spikes, I guess. So in the settings, like turn up how big they are. I keep mine down low pretty much. Because I don't really like it being too blinding when I actually get up to the stars, because I actually like to see them. So I just keep mine down pretty low. So when I get up close, yeah. So that was just a little bit of information on that, I guess. Which I guess this top one changes like the saturation of it, I guess. It's a lot more yellow. I'm actually going to keep that on because I think I like it when it's a little bit more yellow like that. Kind of resembles a star a little bit more. I wonder what happens if I actually go to a blue star. Will it actually change color with the star? Okay, white giant. I think my best chance of finding a blue star is probably by going to the center of the galaxy and then going into like a cluster. Oh, there's a cluster right there. I clicked on the center one apparently. Well, okay. I will land on object. And if I zoom in, I should find Sagittarius A. I think it's that blue dot right there in the center. And that's Sagittarius A, isn't it? Let's slow down more. Whoa, we're getting a lot of colors going on as I like approach it. Is that Sagittarius A? Huh. Is that? Yeah, that's Sagittarius A. Okay, well, apparently I accidentally clicked the galaxy that's in the center. As you can tell, I turned my magnitude up, like earlier in the video. You could actually see a lot more stars around here, and it looks so much better. If you actually checked my last two videos, I increased the like brightness of that, the magnitude of them, and yeah, I did that for the Milky Way galaxy, and what was it? I think IC 1101. I think that's the galaxy. Yeah, and I uploaded like high-res 4K pictures of like the galaxy, so I definitely recommend checking those out. I think somewhere around here I should find a blue star. Here's a blue main sequence star right here. So yeah, the lens flare actually does change color with the object, so that's really nice. One thing to note is I don't think any planets actually orbit the stars that are orbiting around the black holes, essentially. So we're not going to find any planets here. I think the stars are just kind of created at random every time you load in the black hole. And that's just so they can get the effect of like the stars orbiting around it if you fast forward. Yeah. I made that way too fast. Let's slow it down a bit. Okay, so yeah, you can see the everything orbiting around this. I wonder why this black hole is actually flickering so much. I think that's just because the accretion disk, I guess. Which, yeah, I don't think I've actually seen that effect until just now. And sorry, I bumped the microphone. So I think actually turning up the differential thing actually made these black holes flicker. So that's really cool. So I guess to identify a black hole, you just look for a flickering object in the center of a bunch of stars. You can kind of see the flicker from a distance too. Wow, when you turn up the magnitude, this looks so much more dense with stars. Actually, let me turn it up even more. Let's see how far we can get this without crashing the game. Okay, yeah. It's almost hard to actually see anything like in the background because of this. It actually isn't bringing down my frame rate much at all either, but it's just I'm concerned about actually crashing the game whenever I do this. Because if you look at my previous videos, yeah, I certainly crashed the game with it. So if I actually go around the sun and fly around, because the sun's actually in a very, it's in a less dense area of the galaxy. Okay, that needs to stop. Yeah, if I actually go around this area, you can kind of get a better idea, I guess, of like how many stars are actually around us. So that's really cool. Another thing I did for this video is I actually found out in OBS there is a push-to-talk delay. I use push-to-talk in my videos because I don't really like a lot of background noise and stuff. But one thing I noticed is that I get cut out a lot because I release the push-to-talk button too early. So now I have like 500 ms after I release the button, so it'll still pick up what I say. So we have some bright objects here to check out, so let's see what's going on. This is a white supergiant, and this is a blue luminous supergiant. Let's go to the blue one. Okay, very large star. Close that map. And we have some scorched deserts, this one. The lowest temperature one around here is 500 degrees. It's not tidally locked at all. In fact, it's actually a beautiful, like, blue planet. So let's go ahead and check this out. Whoa. Wait a minute. Whoa. Crazy looking. Okay, this is definitely new. I've never actually seen this cracked texture, I don't think. Which, I mean, this is a planet that's like 543 degrees Celsius, so isn't this effect created by like water or something and then being scorched after that? Like, this is what you would find on like a salt lake in a desert or something. This is not something I would expect to see on a planet that probably doesn't have any liquid. The atmosphere is actually fairly thick. You can see like the moons around it and a couple planets. I don't think I could actually see any stars though. That might be a star. Is that a star? Yeah, that's a star. That's a very bright star though. So yeah, let's see what the sunset looks like on this, or the C1 Scorpy set. Go ahead and oh wait, let's slow down time. Okay, let's hit play. Okay, so I have it facing the wrong way. Let's turn the camera around. And there's the star. And it just fades to black. That was... Actually, whoa. When you have the magnitude turn up, you could actually see a lot more stars in the night sky, too. This is actually what you would probably see if you were, like, standing on Mars and looking up at the sky. Or the moon or something. Or just on the ISS. The galaxy would look very populated like that, pretty much. It would be nothing like if you were standing on Earth, where you have, like, the atmosphere in your way. And light pollution and other things. And we have something very interesting here. It's one of its moons, I think. And this actually has a really cool looking, like, blue and black color to this. I actually like this one a lot. It's got these ravine things that I've seen before with, like, the, I don't know, cracks in the terrain. This planet does not appear to have any atmosphere, so you can just see the bright blue star over there. And I don't think looking at this thing's setting would be anything interesting. It would just kind of go into the background. And it looks like we have a pole over here with a bunch of ice. When I click on this planet, there is no, or this moon rather, it doesn't look like it has any atmosphere. There's no composition on the left menu there. But one thing I noticed is this is actually tidally locked. So just like our moon, this is tidally locked with this planet. Which is actually worth noting that this planet has a lot of large moons. Actually, here's a bigger one right here. I think that's bigger. Pretty sure it's bigger. Wait a minute. This had ice on it. Yeah, isn't that ice right there? That's some type of frozen something. Planet is 515 degrees Celsius, which, that doesn't make too much sense to me. Let me adjust my mic real quick. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me because why would there be ice here? It's totally locked with that planet. But, I mean, I'll even show you right now. It's still rotating around the planet. Let's go ahead and slow down time and speed up. It's rotating with the planet. All parts of this moon is actually being exposed to the star. It's still rotating against the star, it's just not rotating against the planet. That's very interesting, unless it's just some kind of dirt or like terrain that's just white. But it looks like it would be something that's actually frozen. Very interesting. Let's see if we can find something with life on it. Is that a cluster? That is a cluster. Wait, I saw something there. I don't think I'm ever going to find that again, though. There was something with life over there. Oh, wait, we got one with life over here. Binary system. Let's go check out the planet with life. It is 75 degrees Celsius, so considerably hotter than our planet. Okay, so let's see what this looks like. Oh, wait a minute, this is an Oceania. Organic unicellular marine life, so it's all underwater, which this game doesn't really have much in terms of water. I just go underwater, pretty sure I did. So yeah, there's not really much going on in terms of water in this game, so the water texture itself is not really there. It's just kind of got like this little reflection map thing going on. And that's essentially your water texture. There's no fancy waves or anything. You can tell the atmosphere is very thick. In fact, the atmosphere composition is like carbon dioxide and oxygen, so this is actually what I expect like Earth to be in its early times, but instead there's no actual land here. The greenhouse effect, water is actually very good at greenhouse effects. We think carbon dioxide is, but no, water is actually one of the most effective like greenhouse gases pretty much. So when you get something like oxygen and carbon dioxide just kind of mixing like this, and there's no actual hydrogen, but there's water here. So I can only assume this is probably, you know, H2O here. But, yeah, essentially water will cause a major greenhouse effect. So this planet's actually a lot warmer than it should be. It's 75 degrees Celsius. But, I mean, I guess all the life is underwater. So, I mean, it's not really overheating down there. It's just kind of the surface temperature of this planet. So, I guess all is good for that. And we have this planet over here, Cold Titan. Let's go ahead and check these out, because I always like visiting the Cold Titans. What looks like a very dim ring. I don't know if you can actually see that. Let me try to get it. Okay. You can kind of see it against the star's light over there. Let me slow down. Yeah, you can see the ring. I'm sure you can see that ring. Yeah, so it has a very dim ring. And it has quite a few moons. Let's go ahead and land on this and see what it looks like. The atmosphere, which kind of says that this atmosphere is decently thick. And we can see the water or liquid or whatever it is. Because this is actually a very cold planet, so more things than just like water could actually condense down in here. And we have that same crack texture going on with the ground. So it looks like it's almost like a desert, but I guess it's not. And the star is actually fair distance away. If I actually go into the settings here and turn on real planet brightness, this is probably going to get very dim. Okay, so this is more what the planet looks like. It looks like a very cold like winter day or something up like in the North Pole or something. Not really too much light actually hitting this planet. And it looks like all the moons around it are just Selenas. We got something up here. I think it's one of those disco moons. I'll figure out what this is one day. And I don't have like any composition here, so I have no clue what's actually on this planet. But what's okay, so this is CO2, so carbon dioxide. One thing that's interesting about that is the composition of this planet looks much more different, or this moon here looks a lot different than this Cold Titan. So I can only really assume that this was probably just caught in its gravity and brought into orbit, not actually something that was created from this. Okay, let's see what else we can find. Let's find something else with life. I'm hoping to find a Terra with life, because I don't really see a lot of those. Instead, I see things like gas giants, which is just weird to me. Okay, we got an orange dwarf over here, and something with life. We have a Oceania again. Let's go check this one out. And this is what I mean. Well, I found a lot of stars with like these orange tints to them, or like stars with planets that have like an orange tint to them. Let me go ahead and turn off the real planet brightness so we can see this better. That actually made it dimmer. Okay, well, that's high dynamic range, I guess. Let's
So yeah, what's interesting about this one is it doesn't only have life, but it's tidally locked too. So you could only imagine that this area of the planet is incredibly hot. Actually relatively cool around like these outer edges of the planet here, so I assume the life would probably be in like these areas. But then again, it is an ocean, so currents and stuff could actually keep areas of the planet cool. I don't think there's actually much going on with the moons. I think those are just asteroids. Yeah, they're just asteroids. So this is actually a relatively unique planet. I've never seen an Oceania that is tidally locked like this, let alone one with life. So this is certainly something I've never actually seen before in this game. And if you want to search this planet up for yourself, the ID for it is right there in the corner. Lost. Where am I? There we go. Okay, let's see if we can find something else. Actually, let's change this up a bit and go to the large Magellanic Cloud. And let's see if we can find something over here. Does this actually have... I mean, I'd imagine it has a supermassive black hole. I wonder where it's at. What's this? That's something very bright here. White hypergiant. Okay. That's definitely different looking. I've never actually seen a white star that is bumpy like that. Actually, let's go over to this nebula here. Got like a orangish, pinkish nebula that also has very dark clouds. Let's see if we can find a star in the center of this. We have one right here. It is actually a triple star system, and let's see what we got. Whoa, slow down, slow down. We have a orange dwarf, and I assume this is another orange dwarf. Okay. And we have 2 frozen ice worlds, so that's not even really worth looking at. Let's see what else we can find. I want to find something inside the nebula. I always like finding them in the nebulas because you get that awesome like night sky caused by it. I'm not seeing anything. I think I... Is there a star hidden in here? No, I'm not seeing it. We have a colorful nebula over here. Let's go over to this one. This is like a beautiful blue and pink nebula. Any stars actually inside of it, but there's certainly some on the outskirts, so let's go check those out. This is a binary system right here. And it looks like we have a cold ice world, Selena, ice giant, and frozen ice world. Let's go over to the cold ice world here. Okay. Let's go ahead and zoom in just to see what the night sky looks like, or the, I guess, daytime sky. So this galaxy actually has a really blue hue to it. So the galaxy is like the galaxy surrounding the planet has a really nice color to it. You can see a distant nebula over there. This one's orange and white. I don't know if that's the one I was just at. Then you just have these like pink and blue clouds. On top of that, this is also a binary star system. So you get 2 sunsets and 2 sunrises. Let's go ahead and just hit play and see what happens. So here comes the first sunset. And the second one. If they were actually more spread out, you would actually see it. I don't know if you would actually see 2 different sets of like shadows or something. It does have a little bit of an atmosphere, but not really much to write on about. So let's see if we can find something else around the edge of this nebula here. This nebula is huge. Okay, so we have a star right over here. And this is a yellow dwarf, just like our sun. And it looks like a bunch of hot planets. Actually, these 2 are cold, but they're gas giants. Let's go over to this hot desert and see if it's anything interesting. Actually, what is this? Are these clouds? Okay, yeah, that's actually exactly what I thought it was. This desert actually has a very, very dense atmosphere. So I'm wondering if it gets any better at night. So let's go ahead and hit play. I don't know where the star is actually at. It's pretty diffused. And we are fading to nighttime, and we cannot see the night sky at all. All it does is just turn black with a red hue to it. So, nothing too interesting with that, I guess. I'm wondering where the black hole in this galaxy would be. I mean, I would assume the center, but where's the center? Like, is it this? I don't think that's a cluster. No, that's just a hypergiant. This has a name? Is this actually a star we've observed? Is this the star I was literally just at? Doesn't appear so. It's another white hypergiant though, but it has like a name. So, is this something we've actually looked at and observed? I don't really know. We got another really bright one over here. This is a red supergiant. So it's gonna be, yeah, all distorted and weird looking. Which we have some really red planets here. Let's go check out this blood red one over here. That's like a purple hue, it looks like in the picture. No, that is definitely just blood red. And if I zoom into it, does it have like a red atmosphere? Oh, it does. Oh, wow. Okay, so, welcome to hell. This is what it looks like. And it looks like we got an eclipse over there. Does that eclipse actually show up on the planet? Let's go over to the aurora over here and just kind of just let that load in. I actually can't see the aurora. Yeah, when I look up, it's just nowhere to be found. In fact, I can't actually see any of the stars. So, I mean, this looks like it'd be a good planet for a Doom game. Let's go ahead and just watch the ginormous star set. The moon there is actually, wait, that's not a moon? It's not being eclipsed. What is that? Spot on the star? I think it's moving. Wait a minute. Is this a what? I'm gonna have to zoom in and figure out what that is in a moment. Let's go ahead and just speed this up a little bit. And if that is what this... Okay, never mind. That wasn't moon. Oh, you can see the aurora. Oh, wow. And it... Wait. Let's let this go again. Speed this up. Pause. Okay. So we got the galaxy, which has like a hellish red to it. I lost the aurora here. But you're able to see like the aurora. Yep, there it is. And like everything has a red glow to it. There was a red like ring around the like horizon of this planet. Go again. I seem to have lost it. It seems to be gone. There it is. Let's go back down here and hit play one more time. Let's slow this down. And pause. Red glow. And we got the aurora. And I can't see the galaxy this time, but there was like a blood red galaxy. So this is what it looks like when the sun sets in hell. And is that the Milky Way galaxy? That it is. So you get this lovely view of a spiral galaxy in the background too. This is probably one of my more favorite planets. I've never actually seen anything like this in this game. So yeah, this one's definitely amusing. Let's get another little close up of our tiny star over here. And here is our red supergiant, which I wish the texture was done a little bit nicer on these, if there even is a texture. Because these things always look so cool, but I feel like if they had like a detailing texture, that would just be like icing on the cake. But I think I'm going to wrap that up. If you guys like the video, leave it a like, and if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. See you guys.